as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you...
All right, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? Black, do that. Arnie. Say. Flip it. Easy. Hey, check my 50.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Watch out. Flip it. 53's mine. Check, 53's mine. It's just me and you.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Jameis now on first down. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
We got this.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check out. Hot.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers going to throw again. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. 44. Mike, 44. All right, T, let's go. All right,
on 1st and 10, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Danny. 6. Mike spoke both.
A second down throw for Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. I got it. Wait. 44 to Mike. Check. Watch the out. Go. Mike. Mike spoke both. Watch the screen. Go.
Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Gay's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Rodgers going to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
45.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From midfield, here's Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, Jones. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
And it's caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agreed totally. Excellent bounce-back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Touchdown, defense. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep. Green, 17. Safety's creeping. 81. Rush in. Rush in. Hey.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Johnny, 53's Mike. Check, 53's Mike. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. It's going to be a long... Flip. It's going to be a long day. 53's the Mike. 53. Easy.
From the gun, Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6 How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And now look at him go. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. He goes 91 yards on the kick return. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check tight. Zoom. 25, Mike, 45. Box it. 45 to Mike, 45 to Mike. Flip it down.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, you got 3 down. Shoulder right. Back north. Hey, 88.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Green, 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. I got you. Check. 53. Easy. Hey, thump. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on first down. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Got him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
He's coming, double up. Wait. Shit. Check 9. Let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
Ready? Black 25. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Check 99. Check 99. Green, triple T. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike. Easy. It's our field. Hey, it's our round. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's get the ball.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's got Miller. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Buccaneers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike. Ready. Flag. What do you got? Mike. Watch the curl. Hey. 5 on the 50. Check it back. 5 on the 50. One take. Step. Slam. White. Easy. He's mine. Short.
So that'll back him up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Easy. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm coming. 5-0. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
Winston now. This complete to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Green, triple T. Mike, 53. Mike. Silver.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Let's flip it. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm coming. Hayward. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike. I don't think you got it, son. Check. 53 is Mike. Check. 53.
First down, Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston.
Big stop, big stop. Let's go.
And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Switch. Green, triple team.
Jameis to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Begin. White. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Bravo. Mike 10. Mike 10. Think you gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this?
Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Check. Come on. Sunday. 10's the mic. Here we go. Where do we go?
To throw, Winston. He completes this into the hands of Miller. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
White.
Now Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 36 yards on the play.
Buccaneers, first down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, as the first half is winding down. And the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First down.
Check. Crunch. 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 Back north. Check. 45.
On first down, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. Pass incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Green, 44 to Mike, 44 to Mike. Check. Let him echo. Let him know. Football's to Mike. Mike spoke.
Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. From the 17, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
You draw quarter. Whip. Watch the whip. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8.
Check 3. Get 300.
To throw is Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
45.
Rodgers now on first down. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
First down, Packers.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. Jones has it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Wait. Come. Easy.
We are headed to the fourth here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second and 5 now. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Watch twist.
Easy. He's moving. Flip it. Let him go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
1st and 10 at the 32.
To throw is Winston. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. for the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. He's at the 50. The 30. Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead.
Packers 27, Buccaneers 24.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Winston. And this is caught by Evans. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down now. It's Jones, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Flip it, flip it, flip it. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Mike, 44.
Get that quarterback. And
Oh, try. 44.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 43 yards. Well, I guess at the very least they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Jones. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his second touchdown of the night, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, second and a yard. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
A loss of a yard brings up second and 11. At the 25-yard line.
50's a Mike. 50's a Mike. Yeah. Let him go.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is, in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people